I rise to express my support for HR530, the ACES Act, as amended, a bill that would task the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine with studying the frequency and mortality of cancer among individuals who served as air crew in the armed forces. I can't help but think of some of the giants of aviation our country has had. Admiral James Stockdale, Chuck Yeager, John McCain, the groundbreaking women Air Force service pilots, or WASPs, of World War II, the Tuskegee Airmen, our astronauts, including the crew of Apollo 11. As a nation, we've been lucky that people of this caliber have stepped up and stepped into the cockpit. These veterans are some of the best our nation has to offer. They are expertly trained to maintain, fly, and fight their airframes. Aviators get the mission done, and they get it done no matter what, under pressure, under fire, under hostile conditions, in the wind and the rain, sometimes even landing on a boat in the middle of the ocean in the dead of night with no lights. 365 days a year, they are out there keeping us safe. Military aviators do it all, and they do it better than anyone else. Unfortunately, there's a concerning trend among veteran aviators and air crews. They're seeing troubling rates of cancer. Initial studies have shown increased rates of melanoma and pancreatic, prostate, brain, and thyroid cancers. The air crew community also shows alarming diagnoses of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. We have both a legal and a moral obligation to take care of our veterans. Unfortunately, these veteran aviators are not getting the recognition they need and deserve from the VA. Often, these folks are forced to use their network of fellow veterans to share tips and tricks to get their care. They move through this new medical world with the gut feeling that they all could not be ill without their military occupation playing some role. This is unacceptable. We need data to help bridge the gap between anecdote and evidence for aviator cancers so pilots and air crews can get the care and the benefits they deserve. That's what this bill hopes to achieve. So I strongly support it. I thank the gentleman from Texas for bringing the bill for his service and encourage all of my colleagues to get behind this effort. And while this is one affected community, we cannot forget the countless other veterans and families also fighting for their toxic exposures to be seen and addressed. I'm thinking especially about my constituents who were stationed at Camp Lejeune, or the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, or ICBM community, who suffer from cancer rates above nationwide averages, or those who were exposed to radiation while working at the Nevada Test and Training Range, and veterans exposed to fuels in their water and molds in their walls while they lived in on-base housing during their service. These are all veterans who continue to carry hidden wounds from service that often don't show up until years after they take the uniform off. As we learn of these communities with toxic exposure and illness beyond battle, we need to make sure that we have adequate systems in place to take care of them. This means a fully staffed and funded Department of Veterans Affairs. This means mental health professionals are in place to assist these veterans through traumatic and life-changing diagnoses. This means updated infrastructure in place to care for these veterans. And for those who succumb to their diagnosis, this means a fully functioning VA to provide end-of-life care with dignity and compassion. Lastly, it means a VA to deliver for those survivors left behind, those who carry on through the pain and grief. I am thankful to all of those who have worked tirelessly to bring this issue to the attention of Congress. The ACES Act is definitely a step in the right direction. It's not a fix-all, but it will give affected veterans a fighting chance. And in the near future, I hope we can do the same for so many other worthwhile populations as well. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support this legislation and ask my colleagues to do the same. I reserve the balance of my